So now we're going to think about other ways in which we tend to categorize cultures. And the first example is by the language that is spoken in those cultures. We're going to look at two important examples, as these are two of some of the most spoken languages in the world. So we have English-speaking and Spanish-speaking cultures, otherwise known as Anglophone or Hispanic cultures. So if we think about English-speaking cultures, well, these are in a very high number as a result of colonialism. So we have the United Kingdom, we have the USA, Australia, South Africa, Canada, Jamaica, and Nigeria. These are cultures that are in very, very different geographical locations around the world. But we can see how language, a shared language, can also show or reflect the shared values that are held in these cultures, which we'll think about in a moment, because language is very connected to perception and the way in which we see the world. So when we think about Spanish-speaking cultures, we have Spain as the first country to speak this language. And again, as a result of colonialism, we see the spread of Spanish around the world in, both North and Central and South America, in Mexico, from Mexico down to Argentina. We also see Spanish spoken in other smaller regions of the world, in some small areas of Africa. And we could also say that the Philippines is a country that has a Spanish-speaking influence there. So how does the language that is spoken in these very different cultures around the world reflect the culture or the values that are held in those cultures? Well, if we think about status and the importance of status, we can see how the language in English-speaking cultures reflects a certain perspective or a value related to status. So if we think of the word you, when we're referring to a second person in conversation, in English we only have one word to refer to that person. We have the word you. So we use this word with people of a higher status than ourselves, of an equal status, or perhaps even with people of a lower perceived status than ourselves. There's only one word. In Spanish-speaking cultures there are two words. We have the word tú and the word usted. The word tú is used with people of an equal status, or perhaps an inferior perceived status. And the word usted would be used to show respect to people in authority, or people that we perceive to be of a higher level in some kind of hierarchy. It's also used as a way of showing respect to people that you don't know very well yet. So usted and tú reflects a difference in the perception of status and the importance of status in these cultures. So we could say that in English-speaking cultures, status is seen as less important, and in Spanish-speaking cultures, status is often seen as more important.